you guys had to get finished for this week. I'm looking at the very front. I'm looking at Monday, and this is the first problem that I have for you. Make sure you guys are checking your work. Listen, if you did a good job and you did it right, please give yourself a star. If you didn't, I am going to ask you to change it. So it is correct. Okay. All right, here we go. They are wanting us to find the missing values. If you have forks to spoons and your forks are 16 to 10, you want to look at the relationship between these two and what it needs to be for these. And so I want you to think about like this ratio, 16 to 10, and how you can either decrease it or increase it. Okay. So that's what this means. So how does it get from 16 to 8? Well, you divide by 2. So if you're dividing by 2, you have to divide by 2 on the bottom, which are the spoons. So you're going to divide by 2. So now your ratio is not 16 to 10. It is now 8 to 5. And all they did was cut it in half. All right, that one's easy. Now, when you have this one right here where they have you looking at 30, you always want to go back to the original rate that they give you, and think about how you get from the original 10 to 30. And you're going to say to yourself, well, I know they increase it because they multiply it by 3. So therefore, you need to increase it or multiply it by 3 on the top to get 48, because 16 times 3 is 48. All right. So these are your answers for the first one. Explain how you solve this problem. If you want to tell me how you did it, you probably want to look at the original rate or ratio and using multiplication and division. That's how you found that. Okay. Those are good. You guys are going to see those again. Just make sure you understand them. All right. Here's Tuesday. All right, Tuesday says you and a friend tutor for a total of 12 hours. Okay, so you and a friend total for 12 hours. And they have these boxes here to distribute the 12 hours among. It says use the tape diagram to find out how many hours you tutored. Well, they show you here with these boxes, but the thing is, these boxes don't hold the value of 1, okay? Because if they held the value of 1, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that could not be true because you guys totaled 12 hours, all right? So that's the part that you want to be very careful of. So these values here are not 1, they are 2, because it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So each box holds the value of 2. So how many hours did you tutor? 4. How many hours did your friend tutor? 8. Okay. So they asked you how many you tutored. You did 4 hours. Okay. All right. So just think, if you guys see a tape diagram and they give you a total, the total is divided among or spread throughout these boxes evenly. All right. All right. Next one. So Wednesday said you have to add a 4 by 4 foot section of land. Okay. So I'm going to draw that out because that's what I hear. I hear 4 by 4, which is 16. Okay. And then it says to a 6 by 8 foot garden. Well, a 6 by 8 then is worth what? 48. Okay. So if I have an area of 16 that I have to add to this 48, then the total that I have is 16 plus 48, which is 64 feet. And it's area, so it's squared. Okay, so it's 64 feet squared. All right. All right, the next one, Thursday. Decide whether the rates are equivalent. All right, equivalent means equal, right? So we have to figure out if these are equal. Well, instead of looking at them like this, I would absolutely put them into a ratio form, okay? You know, the first one is the numerator, and the second one is the denominator, okay? Is that going to be equal to the first one, which is your numerator, to the second one, which is your denominator, okay? Well, you can do a couple things. First, I see a lot of factors here that you can reduce by, so then you can make these fractions smaller. So if this is 15 and 20, I can divide by 5 on both of them. So that'd be 3/4. And I can divide by here. This is 2/3. Okay. So when I look at maybe these smaller fractions, I can say to myself, I know 3/4 and 2/3 absolutely don't match. They're not equal, okay? And all I did was I used 5 as a factor to reduce. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So it worked out easy because these numbers all end in either 0 or 5 and they're divisible. So like I could see right away that 3/4 and 2/3 are not equal. They're not equal. Another way that you can do it, if you have 50 over 20 equals 10 over 15, you can cross multiply, meaning 20 times 10, then divide it by 15. So 20 times 10 is 200. 200 divided by 15 doesn't equal 15, so that would not work. So there's two different things that you guys could do. You could either set them up where you could somehow make them easy to recognize, all right, or you can do cross multiply divide. Either way, okay, but they don't work out. All right, here's your challenge. Jay can paint a car in 6 hours.